This is my Arduino LED strip that is controlled by a serial monitor with commands. So, when you first run the serial monitor for the Arduino, it brings up this little menu that I have. These are the different commands, where it has save defaults, initialize defaults, those both use EEPROM. Then there is delay, help, LED, and pattern. Typing help or H to bring up the command into there is the easiest way to describe everything, as it just gives a description of every command and what it does. Also, for ones that have specific parameters, it tells you examples so that you can type them correctly so that they will work properly. For instance, delay, if you just type D 1000, that makes the default delay 1 second, and that's the delay for the patterns that can be run on the strip. Until you tell it to do so, or to run anything, it will just stay blank like that. But if we go to the next command, that is LED, which lets us set the specific LED to a color, like, let's use the example L3 255 0. I think it was different in the, yeah, it says 255 0 255 in the example, but I'm just going to make it yellow instead. So now you can see that this is, it's a little difficult to see because that's quite bright, but that is LED 0, 1, 2, 3 on the LED strip, and it is yellow. It looks a little bit white because, here, let me lower the brightness. Let's do L3 100 100 0. And now it is still quite bright on the camera, but it is a darker yellow. It's not quite as bright. Let's bring up the help page again. The next command that you can use on here is pattern, which, let's go to pattern 0, which is the default one, will clear the LED strip, so it is now blank. The other ones, here, I will just watch the LED strip as I type them. I'm just going to type P1 here, and it will bring in the rainbow, which is exceedingly bright on the camera. Actually, I will have to lower the delay here because when I was describing or demonstrating the delay function, I set it to a second, and it takes forever to cycle through the colors with that. So let me set it to 10. And I'm just typing D10, which will interrupt this. And back to pattern 1. You can now, it'll probably be easier to see the reflection on my hand, but it is now cycling through all the colors, and you can tell that it's actually cycling because the delay is no longer 1 whole second between every color. That's pattern 1. Now if I set it to pattern 2, which is the Larson scanner, it'll probably be going very quickly, yeah, but you can see that it's moving, even at the low delay. If I go back and set the delay higher, say 100, and then run pattern 2 again, now it's at a much more reasonable pace. Then if I run pattern 3, which is the last pattern I have pre-built, it's a police flasher, you know, red and blue lights as they're on police cars. So there's that. Let me clear it again so that it's not being obnoxious. The last thing is when we set individual LEDs. So let's for ease of use, let's just set LED 4 to 255 0 0, which is just red. So it just sets that to red. Now, if we open up the help menu one more time, the top two are save and initialize. So if we hit save, what it will do is save the current LED values to the EEPROM memory. So right now, that is the only LED up. In fact, let me see. Let me set L 6 to 0, 255, 0, which will make that one green. So now if I save this by just typing S, it saves that, and I can clear it, P0 to set it to just the clear pattern. And now if I press I and type that into the serial monitor, it will initialize the values. Oh, and I had a yellow left over there from an earlier experiment, so you can't see it super well, but there is a yellow right there, and then the red, and then the green. So it saved the red and the green, and also had the yellow saved from earlier. It did not overwrite it. And that covers, I believe, every command that this runs.